finally here, the week we have all been waiting for. UNC has 2 chances to beat Duke in basketball. Fans across the country are getting geared up for the men's game Wednesday, but Sarah Moore reminds us it's not to look past the women's top 10 tilt tonight at Cameron Indoor.
Most of my players have played ever at Duke. They know what it's like, you know. I mean, they love playing over there.
But they weren't feeling the love last year. Lady Tar Heels fell to Duke both times the teams faced off. Tonight, the Heels are looking for a little revenge against an all-too-familiar team.
I think they were very similar. I think they had a really tough schedule early, a lot of road games, and, you know, adjusting to a new coach. But, you know, I think they've played real well lately.
With Duke's team looking very much like last year's, the Heels will need to step up their defense and make stops like this. Without Ivory Latta to make these kinds of plays, Carolina will have to find other weaknesses to prey on.
You know, I think they're just, I mean, they have no weaknesses. I mean, they're very solid at every position. They've got senior leadership, they got experience, they got size, they got three-point shooters. I mean, you know, they're a lot like Maryland.
But maybe, like against Maryland, UNC will be able to find a weakness and pull out a win. After all, Carolina has senior leadership too. Just look at Erlana Larkins, who knows how to dominate the glass, and Latoya Pringle, who knows how to defend. It could be another epic battle. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sarah Moore, Carolina Week Sports.
Before the men's team could dance with the Devils, they'd have to slide past the Seminoles, which was harder than most expected it would be. Less than 4 minutes into the game, Ty Lawson got taken down by Florida State. Lawson ended up sitting out the rest of the game with a rolled ankle, and we don't know if he will be able to play on Wednesday. Tyler Hansbrough picked up his game and had a career high of 21 rebounds. Florida State kept the game close, though, making a 3 with 8 seconds left in the game. The game went into overtime, during which the Heels dominated, winning 84-73. In the Carlisle Cup, basketball games are worth 2 points, which means 4 points are on the line this week. Carolina is currently up 9-2 in the competition. Even if, God forbid, Duke wins both games this week, Carolina will still be ahead by 3 in the quest for the Carlisle Cup. Speaking of being ahead by 3, last night's Super Bowl stunned fans as the New York Giants took down the undefeated New England Patriots 17-14. The Giants' starting fullback has a familiar name. Madison Hedgecock played for the Heels from 2001 through 2004. He had 1 reception for 3 yards last night and had a good night blocking. Now he has a Super Bowl ring. The UNC men and women's swimming and diving honored the seniors in their last home meet Saturday. The swimmers and divers took on Johns Hopkins and Emory to wrap up their dual meet season. Both the men and women had big wins against both opponents. The men finished their regular season 6-2 overall and 4-0 in the ACC. The women are now 6-3 and 3-1 in the ACC. The Heels are looking forward to the ACC Championship meets in Atlanta at the end of this month. Coming off a 10-6 2007 regular season, the men's lacrosse team enters its next campaign ranked as high as 5th in the preseason polls. For a spring tune-up, the Heels played Drexel in an exhibition game. After an 8-4 first-half lead, the Heels used their physical toughness for every goal they got. Midfielder Sean Delaney found an opening and fired away, keeping the offensive engine burning. And attackman Billy Bitter had some nice moves with this turnaround shot, continuing to give the fans a taste of what's to come. Following the Heels' 16-9 win, midfielder Fletcher Gregory says he wants to prove the hype is justified this season.
As the seniors, when we were freshmen, we were ranked top 5, and we had a pretty poor season. So we know what it's like to be ranked high and not live up to those expectations. So I don't think we're going to let that happen this year.
The track and field Heels competed this weekend in Chapel Hill at the Texas Roadhouse Carolina Classic. The men's team took 1st and 2nd place in the heptathlon, with both sophomore Mateo Sosa and junior Daniel Keller reaching NCAA provisional marks. The Lady Heels had 1st place finishes from freshman Patience Coleman in the high jump, sophomore Kimberly Warren in the shot put, and by the women's 4x400 meter relay team. The Tar Heels return to action next weekend when they head to New York City for the New Balance Invitational. The number 17 ranked women's tennis team faced number 64 Minnesota Saturday afternoon. The women defeated Minnesota 7-0 after a tough battle at the number 2 seed in doubles. Fang and Durasek won their match in what most people refer to as overtime, carrying the Heels to victory. The singles followed. The Tar Heels didn't drop a set to win all their singles matches of the day. The Tar Heels also defeated Michigan Sunday afternoon. After winning 2 matches on Friday, the men's tennis team put its undefeated season on the line against Rice. The 10th-ranked Heels drew a large crowd, including athletics director Dick Bedour. David Stone had an intense doubles match that ended in a 6-8 defeat. Taylor Fogelman and Chris Kearney tried to get the Heels back on track, but suffered a surprise loss in a tiebreaker. Carolina dropped 2 of the 3 doubles matches and tied in singles. So a tough start in doubles action leads to the 4-3 defeat, Carolina's first loss of the season. UNC travels to face 3rd-ranked Ohio State on Sunday. So we have an exciting weekend, or we just had an exciting weekend, and we're coming into what we also like to call our Big Duke Week. Women's are starting tonight, traveling to Cameron, and on Wednesday, the men are coming here to face the men's basketball team.
It seems like it's going to be an intense week.
Absolutely. Duke games always are.
Sounds like a nice rivalry week set up for us. Thank you, Marissa. Well, I'm wondering, how much would it take for Johnny O to jump into some really cold water in the middle of winter?
You know, I would do it because I'm just adventurous. But you know, coming up, we'll tell you about some people who were crazy enough to take the plunge.